Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the weekly general reading. And this week, I think we might just, speed right through it. Not that I'm going to be rushing, but there's not that many events. The number of events are not many. That doesn't mean the intensity isn't going to be great. Why would I say that? Well, yesterday, because it's now 2:13 a.m. on the 13th for me. So yesterday, August 12th, was not only the recognized last day of the Lion's Gate, and I'm saying recognized because it is a celestial event, so it might not be down to the precise science of time. Time and space are all relative anyway, and it depends upon what hemisphere one is, when something occurs where they are. But theoretically, the 12th, the last day. Also, the 12th was the first day of Mercury retrograde in Virgo, 11 degrees Virgo. So that's the big event. Now, today, the 13th, is the beginning, the first day of my reading for this week. It is for today, Sunday, the 13th, through Saturday, the 19th. And the only spiritual event that I have, to recognize during that week, or this week, rather, is Tuesday, the 15th, the Assumption of Mary. Next week, I'll be back to my usual shenanigans because I have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about just about every day. And just to give you a little tidbit, well, the 21st, most of us know, if not all of us, is the Great American Eclipse. And why they call it the Great American Eclipse? Well, because there's like a belt across America where the eclipse will be a full solar eclipse for the first time in 99 years. And that is from Oregon to South Carolina. I myself may very well be in South Carolina for that. I don't have anything else going on here. I'll just pop over there where my mother's family is from. My mother is from. But what else? After that, on the 22nd, it is not only the feast day of Mary, Queen of Heaven, or Queen of Angels, or just her queenship. That's another one. Queenship of Mary. There's another name for this feast day. She's like the goddess of 10,000 names, like her predecessor, the goddess Isis. Many, many names for her. This became popular. I think it was in 1946. It was a pope who was doing a radio show who explained in connection to Fatima why Mary is the queen of all heaven and the queen of all angels. Now, Fatima, those of you who recall, and for those of you who don't, I'll give you a little tidbit. On May 13th in the year 1917, Mary first appeared to these three kids, and they weren't believed by their parents. Make a long story short, she said, tell everybody to come back, or, we're going to do it a different way. I'm going to make my big reveal on June 13th, 1917, which should not be a surprise to you guys. And that's what she did. So anyway, this May 13th, an anniversary of it. So fast forward from 1917 to 1946, this Pope gets on the radio and goes back to that event and explains from there. I don't recall how exactly. Maybe I'll look it up to talk about next week. Explains how and why, based on that, she is the queen of all heaven and earth, basically, and all angels. And this is even more exciting. On the 22nd, also on the Jewish calendar, starts the month of Elul. This is a month of love, the entire month. And to give you guys an idea and to explain it a little in brief and a little bit more eloquently than I might otherwise do it, I have brought up Shabbat.org to help me with this part. So this is a quote. The month of Elul is key to unlocking the inner, most potent meaning of the heart. As is well known, the Hebrew letters that make the word Elul are the acronym for the phrase from the biblical Song of Songs, which means, and this is a quote within the quote, I am to my beloved, and my beloved is to me. So this is like indicating the promise that we make to each other, and that our souls have made to one another, and that our souls have made to the universe, and that our universe has made to us in connection with our soul mates and our divine partners. This beautiful and romantic phrase is that which represents our relationship with the Creator, which is often parallel to that of a husband and wife, a bride and a groom, and things of this nature in our individual lives. So I'll read the rest of this story called The Jewish Heart, The Secret of Elul by Sarah Esther Crisp next week. What else? So I think that may be it, but that's a lot. That's a lot. But again, most of it is next week. So with that, I'll go into the sky this week from astrology.com, beginning with today, the 13th. Sunday, August 13th, spectacular Saturn lies due south, and at its peak altitude, about a half hour after sunset, it shines at a magnitude of 0.3 against the backdrop of Southern Serpent Bearer, a constellation whose brightest star glows 6 times fainter than the ring planet. When viewed through a telescope, Saturn's globe measures 17 inches across, while its dramatic ring system spans 40 inches and tilts 27 degrees to our line of sight. Tonight also offers a nice opportunity to see the planet's 7 brightest moons. The toughest to spot normally are the 2 inner ones, Mimas, M-I-M-A-S, and Enceladus, E-N-C-E-L-A-D-U-S, which never stray far from the ring's glare. But tonight, Enceladus reaches greatest eastern elongation just 2 hours after Mimas comes to greatest western elongation. Thesis, T-E-T, Tethys, yes, Tethys, T-E-T-H-Y-S, Dion, Rhea, Titan, in Iapetus, I-A, or maybe it's Lapetus with an L. It looks like an I, but Lapetus makes more sense, L-A-P-E-T-U-S, round our Saturn's magnificent 7. So they've got 7 moons again. And these will all be on display. Monday, August 14th, the last quarter moon occurs at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It doesn't rise until shortly after midnight local daylight time, however, by which time its phase has diminished almost imperceptibly to 48% lit. Earth's only natural satellite appears against the background stars of Western Taurus. Tuesday, August 15th, comet Pan-STARRS, P-A-N-S-T-A-R-R-S, also called C2015 ER61, currently hovers around 10th or 11th magnitude, bright enough to see through most telescopes. But its main claim to fame this week is its convenient location just south of the Pleiades star cluster M45. From August 14th through the 21st, the solar system object appears as a fuzzy patch of light passing less than 1 degree south of the dipper-shaped cluster. Wednesday, August 16th. Look for the waning crescent moon this morning as it hovers just east of the Hyades star cluster in Taurus the Bull. The 2 objects clear the horizon by 1 a.m. local daylight time and climb halfway to the zenith by the time morning twilight begins. The moon appears 35% lit and easily outshines the stars of the V-shaped Hyades. First magnitude Aldebaran, which marks one tip of the V, appears brighter than the rest of the cluster's stars because it actually lies in the foreground. Besides this print being small, they don't use many they don't use much, oh goodness, I'm drawing a blank, periods and commas. So it's like hard to follow sometimes what's being written. In any case, Thursday, August 17th, Jupiter appears low in the west-southwest an hour after sunset this week. The brilliant planet shines at a magnitude of negative 1.8 and dominates the evening sky. It appears against the backdrop of Virgo, some 6 degrees to the right of the maiden's brightest star, first magnitude Spica. When viewed through a telescope, Jupiter's disk spans 33 inches and shows a wealth of atmospheric detail. Friday, August 18th. Look overhead around 10 p.m. anytime this week, and your eyes will fall on the brilliant star Vega in the constellation Lyra the Harp. At magnitude 0.0, Vega is the brightest member of the prominent summer triangle asterism. The triangle's second brightest star, magnitude 0.8 Altair in Aquila the Eagle, lies some 35 degrees southeast of Vega. The asterism's dimmest member, magnitude 1.3 Deneb in Cygnus the Swan, stands about 25 degrees east-northeast of Vega. The moon reaches perigee, the closest point in its orbit around Earth, at 9:18 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It then lies 227,497 miles from Earth's center. Saturday, August 19th. By the time morning twilight starts to paint the sky, your eyes will be drawn to the eastern sky for a meeting of the night sky's two brightest objects. Brilliant Venus rises first, clearing the horizon shortly before 3:30 a.m. local daylight time. Less than a half hour later, the waning crescent moon joins the planet. The two make a stunning pair as they climb higher in the twilight sky. Venus, which shines at a magnitude of negative 3.9, appears 20 degrees above the horizon an hour before sunrise. And lastly, Sunday, August 20th, distant Neptune reaches opposition and peak visibility in just 2 weeks. But the view now is essentially the same. The ice giant planet rises during evening twilight and climbs nearly halfway to the zenith in the southern sky by 2 a.m. local daylight time. The magnitude 7.8 planet lies in Aquarius, 1.5 degrees east of fourth magnitude Lambda. You'll need binoculars to spy Neptune and a telescope to see its blue-gray disk, which spans 2.4 inches. And a little bit about the Assumption of Mary. The Assumption of Mary into heaven is often shortened to just the Assumption, and also known as the Feast of Saint Mary the Virgin, Mother of our Lord Jesus Christ, and also the Falling Asleep of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And this is according to the beliefs of the Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox, Oriental Orthodox, and the Anglican. Her body was taken up. The Virgin Mary just ascended. She didn't, die as we know it. That was the end of her earthly life. The Catholic Church teaches as dogma that the Virgin Mary, having completed the course of her earthly life, was assumed, body and soul, into heavenly glory. The doctrine was dogmatically defined by Pope Pius XII on November 1st in 1950 in Apostolic Constitution by exercising papal infallibility. While the Catholic Church and Eastern Orthodox Church believe in the dormition of Theotokos, which means the same as the Assumption, whether Mary had a physical death has not been dogmatically defined. Okay, the belief is that she didn't. That's the meaning of the word Assumption. In any case, Pope Pius XII pointed to the book of Genesis 3:15 as scriptural support for the dogma in terms of Mary's victory over sin and death, as also reflected in 1 Corinthians 15:54. Then shall come to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. In the churches that observe it, the Assumption of Mary is a major feast day, commonly celebrated on the 15th of August. In many countries, the feast is also marked as a holy day of obligation. Means you have to go to church if you're a member of one of these religions that I mentioned, one of these theologies. In the Roman Catholic Church, you certainly have to. And as a festival under various names in the Anglican Communion. And so that's all I'm going to read about that. Of course, it goes on, and anybody who is interested can check out Wikipedia or many other pages on the Assumption of Mary. I don't know why they referred to that piece of scripture. I was puzzled as I was sitting here reading it, because there's, I can't think of the chapter or verse or even the book right now, but I know Jesus himself says in more than one place that some will not experience death. And in other places it's written, some will not taste death, which means they will not have to go through that process. They will just ascend. This is described and explained by Jesus himself in the Bible. I know this for a fact. So I'm not sure why this Pope or whomever else was trying to explain that away. Didn't refer to that, but they didn't. I'm moving on, and I'm going to the dice. Beginning with eat cake, email, and dirty movie. Also in the scripture, I said I was moving on, but also in the scriptures, it describes how Archangel Metatron, or who came to be Archangel Metatron, the man first, Enoch, also just ascended without dying and became an archangel, Metatron. So I don't know what that was about with the Pope. Anywho, Spirit says massage. I almost got one the other day. I was in the mood, but I didn't. I decided to be cheap. Cocktail. Yeah, because since I have to pay for my massage, I don't have somebody to just come do it. I decided to be cheap. And forget it. I forgot it. All right, so now I'm going to go to the Angel Tarot first. And do one of my cross spreads, the cross spread where I refer to the divine couple and the masculine's higher self to see what's going on, blocks to the union and stuff like that. Beginning with the Four of Earth. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions. Giving to those less fortunate. I also relate this to love. The Four of Earth, it's like withholding love, or maybe being too generous with that. Any kind of abundance. And opening it here, opposite the Page of Air, this very much says Mercury and Virgo to me. The Page of Air is logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. The Page of Air is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Or somebody taking on those, traits, attributes, behaviors. Four of Earth. Opening to the Four of Air. Fours are about foundations too, by the way. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So if we can find like peace through meditation, may get like some clarity of mind, and then we can make a decision. We can move forward. Opening to the Six of Water. Could be about soulmates. Six of Water is a soulmate card with all these retrogrades going on right now, including Mercury. Retrogrades are about celestial objects, bodies, moving backward. And then, they turn around and move forward again. I posted this week on my Facebook page, Aaliyah, back and forth. I said, this is exactly what retrograde is about. A celestial object goes back and then it turns around and goes forth. So when it goes back, we tend to revisit things from our past. That's why you see people, getting together with soulmates with whom maybe they haven't spoken for a while. Not just romantic, soulmates of all kinds. And then when we go direct, they either move forward, with those people or without. They move forward one way or another. So we go back and then we go forth. Six of Water, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, and romanticizing the past. Maybe opposite the Four of Air, this is about a decision having to do with a soulmate or child. Four of Air. And the Hermit, here comes Virgo. Spend time in quiet meditation. So similar to the Four of Air, which also guides us to meditate, right? Meditation may provide answers. Spend time in quiet meditation. Spiritual teaching, self-discovery. This is very Saturn retrograde. Go within. Very Pluto retrograde. Go within. All these planets are both in retrograde right now. Four of Air and one more. It's the Three of Water, a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. The need to have more fun. This can be connected to the situation with children, if one exist for you. This can really be about the need to get together with friends and things, and maybe friends you haven't seen in a long time, friends that are soulmates. It could be a whole group, your old clique from high school, from college, from whatever, your old job. You get together with them, you haven't seen them in a long time. And this can be about getting together with friends in general, friends, family, being social. Four of air. Punctuation. That's the word I was trying to look for before. Y'all must think I'm crazy sometime, but I couldn't think of what the word was. Periods and commas and whatnot. Coming to the Six of Earth, which represents the planet Venus for me, and particularly in this deck, I think it just totally demonstrates what Venus is all about. Earth, Taurus, and justice, equality, fairness, love. Libra, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. Oh boy, the overall energy is the Five of Air. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. The Five of Air for me is, I guess in one respect, it's a progression as far as the numbers go. We just had the Four of Air and now we're up to the Five. But the message tends to be for me, not only conflict, but conflicts in which we had a hand. It may have been inadvertent. We may not have meant to have had a hand. We may have done something that we thought was, innocent, but we did something to set like the wheels in motion that resulted in this conflict that we're now facing. The Five of Air also for me, as opposed to like the Five of Wands, which tends to be about close friends and or family, Five of Air can be with perfect strangers. You stepped on my foot. Now we got a problem. That type of thing. The divine couples energy together. The recent past. Blocks to the union. The outcome. The masculine's higher self. The near future. What can the feminine do? What can the masculine do? What is advice from the universe? The divine couple this week is, in a general sense, the general reading is represented by the Eight of Earth. Very nice. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic and maybe even going back to school. We can be doing just that, some of us, especially the month of August, the month of September. This is a time, even higher education, somebody registering for college, they may be starting this month, next month. Makes perfect sense. If you want to further your education through something vocational, maybe not necessarily a college. Even those programs often start around the same time as school. Our children are going to school. We might be starting new jobs. People were off for the summer. Now it's the summer's ending, depending upon where you live, what parts of the country or world, and you're going back to work or starting new work. Some of us are teachers. Some of us were off with school being closed. We're back to school. In another sense, aside from having to do with school, this has to do with whatever you put your effort into. It's paying off now. And this can be about love as well. You've been working on your relationship, putting effort into it, working on your partnership. It's paying off now. And this doesn't have to be your romantic relationship only either. This can be relationships in general with, friends, co-workers, family members, parents, children, all that kind of stuff. The recent past, life experience, the Tower, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. The Tower, for me, is, I'm going to call it a neutral energy because it could go either way. It's 50-50, as the dice sometimes says. It can be good. It can be, quote unquote bad, but bad is relative to me too. And, there's good to be found pretty much in all things. So the Tower can be about an actual structure too, like an actual tower, a home, a building of some sort. Maybe it comes down. Maybe you move, it changes, it transforms in some way because you do. It's something that shakes up your world, and it's karmic, meaning of the universe. fated, destined, nothing you can do about it. You're not in control of it. The universe is. You can't stop it. You can't anything. It just happens, and it's abrupt, as opposed to maybe like the world, which for me is also not about what many people feel it's about, the world being at your feet or the world being your oyster. Instead, it's similar to the tower, only it's slow. It's the universe slowly removing you from a situation, or slowly coming in with a karmic energy, a fated energy, a destined energy to, shake up your world, change it, remove people from your life, remove you from situations. The tower does the same thing, but it does it like, boom. You weren't expecting it. You look up, boom, this has happened. Now what? And again, good or bad. The near future. Four of air. So after whatever this is in our individual lives, it means a general reading. It'll apply to different people, different ways. But after that happens, we got to take a break. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers for that decision. Blocks to the union. Victory. Good news, it's on its way. Public recognition or awards. So what has been blocking us is fear of this, because victory is a good thing, right? But we hold back from it because we don't believe it's in our capability to achieve victory. So something we're just about there, and we all know this, we've talked about this before. We're just about there, and what we've been asking for, we're getting it, and as soon as we feel ourselves getting it, we shrink back because we've been afraid. So it's a lack of confidence that has been a block to the union. This can be ours. And this, when I say blocks to the union, it's because blocks in all areas of our lives, your financial life, your dealings with your family, your dealings with your friends, anywhere you have chakras that aren't clear, that aren't functioning, or past life issues, they block us from progress, period. And also, and particularly with the union, when there's a divine union trying to come together, all these things will hold it up. It will affect the energy. The masculine's higher self. The magician. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical. See this crossing the 6 of fire. So this is like, again, feeling not confident enough to achieve victory when you have all the you need to do it. And this is reconfirmation of that. Yes, all you need to do it. And this forms here a 16, and it sits here atop this 16, right? 1 and 6 and 1 and 6. Going to show us that this, and maybe this tower is what made you afraid. Again, good or bad. Whatever occurred here that shook you up is maybe what made you shrink back. Forgetting that you're enabled, basically, and supported, and divinely guided, and all that kind of stuff to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. What can the feminine do toward her situation? Page of Earth. Scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful is the Page of Earth, and it sits here right underneath the 8 of Earth. Both can be about going to school. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, and a new area of study. The Page of Earth pages bring news. This one brings news of the earthly, right? Money, opportunity to make money, or to receive something material, or something like that. It can be about love too, where it relates to love. The court cards under the suit of Earth, the element of Earth, tend to be about longevity, relationships that, are going to go a long way. They're going to thrive because we've put work into them. For a good bit of us, I think this is connected to furthering our education one way or another. Again, not necessarily school, maybe something vocational, maybe like the school of life. It's more experience, from this tower. Whatever happened, it teaches us a lesson, and we benefit from it. We want the lesson. What can the masculine do? The wheel with Archangel Michael, a time of positive change. The situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. He's got to take his victories. He's got to take his blessings. He's got to accept them. It's like the universe keeps saying, here's everything you need to do all this stuff. And, you know, we're basically not doing it. The wheel represents the planet Jupiter. And the sign of Sagittarius, fire element, movement, positivity, going forward. No need to be afraid. You've got everything you need. Fortune is on your side. So what you can do, masculine, is this, right? Take your victory lap. Move forward. You got it all this week. It's an awesome week for you. Advice from the universe. The moon with Archangel Haniel. Your advice is to pay close attention to your intuition. Events are happening behind the scenes. Your advice is also to release the fears that hold you back. What did I say this was? Sitting here, blocks to the union. Fear about the victory. That's holding you back. You could be trotting out on your horse, but you haven't yet because of fear that's holding you back. So the guidance from the universe that sits directly atop it is to release that, because again, all of this can be yours. Everything can be yours. The world is yours. That's the other meaning of the world that I tend not to use, but you know, in that sense, the world is yours. The outcome this week, Queen of Fire. Good. We build our confidence. The Queen of Fire is confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to go on to another cross spread. This one may be more romantic, although this is the general reading, because I've shuffled to begin with Radha and Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. An opening to Serapis Bay, Ascension. Move into true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. Radha, Soul Flame. It's Mercury who showed up. Open communication of all. I was kind of afraid, but it does depend upon where, in what house that Mercury retrograde or any retrograde, falls. Like I said, people are afraid of Chiron, the wounded healer, his retrograde in Pisces. But my Chiron is in Aries. We're sort of, if you get knocked down, get back up, people. Dust yourself off and keep moving without whining about it type of people. So it doesn't affect me the way it may some. The same thing goes for all the other retrogrades, including Mercury. Open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. And it may be maybe in relation to love, sitting here opposite Radha and Soul Flame and being of the same colors, the same border, this pretty teal here. Radha. Oh, it's Mother Mary. I just finished talking about her. Love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So I think last week we had father healing available to us. This week it's mother healing that is possible at this time. And opening to Krishna and devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. So similar to the moon, right? Pay close attention to your intuition and trust it. Use it. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. This is also like reward for hard work. Eight of Earth, Page of Earth. The wheel. The wheel is all about karma. Jupiter is all about karma. Mother Mary. One more. White Eagle, ancestor spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Mother Mary. Bridget, inner strength. Move back into wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. Just like in the other spread, what I was talking about, particularly with regard to the masculine. I'm sorry, particularly with regard to blocks to the union. The overall energy is soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. Feminine, about herself this week. Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. The masculine with relation to the feminine this week. Hope, love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. He wants the feminine to see herself the way he does, as dear and precious as he does. The masculine with regard to himself. Ants in the pants. Cernunos, life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Maybe following a massage. Who knows? For some of us, some of you, if I'm not so lucky. Outcome, or the masculine with regard to the union, rather, in this spread. Higher learning. You have learned from experience. I just talked about that in the other spread. So this is the life experience, same thing. Move in more inner study. So this is like the hermit. Going within, introspection. More inner study is now required for further progress. So we have to go deep within the union in order to experience more blessings and lessons from it this week. Now, overall, Serapis Bay is back with ascension. So maybe the union ascends. We ascend. I think all of the above. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. And here's the outcome. Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is and follow your intuition. So we're not living in make-believe land. We're not making shit up. We're facing things maybe like the planet Mercury and communication and the page of air, like a Gemini. We're just seeing stuff for what it is, and here it is. Boom, boom, boom. And we're not, no like tomfoolery. What can the feminine do toward the union this week? Saint Germain, karma releasing. Move beyond drama. So like our overall energy of the 5 of air, 5 of swords. Keep walking, even if somebody steps on your foot. You can turn around and point it out to them if you want, but just keep walking. Just moving beyond the drama. Create your own path and make room for good energy. What can the masculine do this week toward the union? White eagle, ancestor spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. So there may be something that comes to mind for you masculine that you can address in your own life this week, or a dot you can connect for yourself this week as it relates to your heritage, your lineage. Yeah. And even your connection with the divine, your lineage in that sense. It doesn't have to be 3D. You may have lost, not your way, but some of us over the years, myself included, we stopped praying, we stopped going to whatever church, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. We stopped praying, we stopped going to church or temple or synagogue or whatever it was for us, and we ended up in a place where we did nothing. And then our spirit awakened, or began to awaken. And then we found we started to feel like we needed something. I still don't want all of that, but I need a better connection. You know, how can I talk to God? By just talking. Just talking. Words from your heart. That's the best way to pray. This is a good time to fill your own void. And maybe after going within, what is it that I'm missing? Where is my hole? I feel a hole. Where is it? Where's the leak coming from? And then once you locate that, it's a good time to work on filling it this week. Masculine. And what would the universe have the two of us to do or surrender this week toward the union? Lady Venus downloads an understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So when this truth is revealed, what are we going to do? See it for what it is. Says Odin, this is our outcome. Makes perfect sense together now. All right. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to the next one. Back to the Angel Tarot. Beginning with the Tower, life experience. Shuffle these up a bit. 9 of Fire. Because we got nothing fraudulent going on here. Life experience. 3 of Water. Shuffle them up good. No tricks. Life experience. 7 of Water. A complex decision. The need to do research. Stop procrastinating. Life experience. And the Page of Water. I said pages bring news. This one brings news of love and emotion. Maybe makes an offer to you. An offer of love. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly is the Page of Water. He's also a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, or somebody taking on those attributes. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. And there's also a possibility of heightened psychic abilities. Page of Water. And the 9 of Air. Expecting the worst. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Sleepless nights. 9 of Air. I'll go one more. It's the 10 of Water. You're a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. This, like the 3 of Water we saw earlier in the reading, may have to do with us spending time with friends or family and just, living life, enjoying life. If somebody's worried also about family too, that's a possibility here. Or worried about children and staying up at night over it. Losing sleep, as they say, over it. 9 of Air. I'm going to cut. Queen of Air wanted to be seen. She was there. 8 of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded. Also learning all there is to know about a topic and maybe even going back to school. The overall energy is the Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous is the Page of Fire. He's also a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. That reminds me, something else that happens next week, the end of Leo, the beginning of Virgo. 22nd is the last day of Leo, or some would say the first day of Virgo. It's the cuspy day. Masculine, Page of Air, logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. This can be connected to Mercury having shown up saying, I got something on my chest I need to say. Page of Air is good for that and just laying it out there. Page of Air is a Gemini Libra or Aquarius is somebody taking on those attributes, by the way. Masculine is surrounded by the 5 of fire, competing goals, bothersome details, and conflict with others. Detached from drama this week, remember. In the masculine subconscious, the Empress with Archangel Gabriel, lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. Some of us have conflict with our mother or with our child also, or with the mother of our child. Maybe part of the conflict is about what we're sitting up at night, unable to sleep, with the 9 of air opposite the 10 of water. Yeah. Feminine. Justice represents the sign of Libra or other air sign. Maybe it's a page of air. Gemini, Aquarius also come with this card, or anybody behaving like one of those, an air sign. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. And this is actually energy mirroring itself, because justice, major arcana card justice, again represents Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and the Empress represents for me the planet Venus itself, and this card comes through as both Taurus and Libra. Surrounding the feminine, the Knight of Air, intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless is the Knight of Air. It looks like Mercury has taken over the reading for this week. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. And in the feminine subconscious, it's unity, or the Hierophant, the high priest with Archangel Sandalphon. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. I think he's the other 2 out of 2 people who ascended directly into heaven and became archangels, Sandalphon and Metatron. In addition to, represents the sign of Taurus, and can, not unlike many of the other cards we've seen tonight, be about higher education, higher learning, legal matters, the need to change with whom we surround ourselves. Instead, would be better off in environments of people, places, and things that are of our vibration or higher, from which or whom we can learn something. This is about commitment. Feminine may be thinking about commitment, making one, ending one. Justice can be marriage, divorce. Crowning the union. The Magician is back. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Ones represent our thoughts, right? Your thoughts become your reality. So this is like beginning the manifestation process this week. We all have the ability to do so. And this 1 sits right here next to an 8, and 8s are certainly about manifestation and the infinite abundance that's available to us. And 3s represent abundance, and absolutely the Empress does, and the planet Venus does, the goddess and planet of love and money. At the root, the 4 of air is also back. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. And at the heart of the matter, the Queen of Fire is also back. You guys saw me shuffle. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. So no matter what spread I do, this is our outcome, or the main, event here, is stepping into this divine energy of the Queen of Fire. The next card is upright. I'm going to attempt to use it to clarify the 5 of fire. And it's the Dreamer with Archangel Metatron. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams. Leads to unexpected opportunities. So the 5 of fire could be coming through here for the most part, because the masculine himself is conflicted with himself. What should I do? Should I take this chance? Should I go for it or not? I'm afraid. Remember, I'm afraid to take my victory in the element of fire, the 6 of fire. I'm stuck here at the 5. I'm afraid to progress to the 6. Should I? Metatron says, yep. And this card, the Dreamer and Archangel Metatron, but the Dreamer in this particular deck, which is the Fool, by the way, in the traditional tarot. In this deck, this card and Archangel Metatron specifically represent the planet Mercury to me, which rules both Gemini and Virgo. And right now, Mercury is retrograde in Virgo. So that this can be that energy taking over the masculine and saying, use me to, propel yourself forward, even though I'm going backward. Take the leap of faith forward. It's going to lead to unexpected opportunities there for the masculine. And the next card is also upright. So maybe let's take a look at the Empress, because it's a 3. Page of Earth. It looks like it really is about abundance. For the most part, at least. It really is about abundance. Page of Earth. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging in a new area of study. Masculine could be taking a leap of faith and going to school, enrolling in school. Maybe he had delayed it before. He didn't go right out of high school. He, got his diploma or his GED and he stopped there. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but he wants to go further now. But can I? I'm 30, I'm 40, whatever the case is. Yep, Metatron says go for it. Next one is upright too, but I don't know if we have anything else to clarify. Let's just see what it is. Let's be greedy. Aw, I'm glad I did, because the next one's upside down, so I was meant to do this. The 2 of Fire. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. So a good week also, perhaps specifically for divine unions, but for partnerships in general. This is still the general reading. So business partnerships, romantic partnerships, family, friends coming together, combinations of those. Very good week for any of that. I'm going to see what the Ascended Masters would add to this, and then I will bid you adieu and see you guys later. Come back with the love reading. I'm beginning with yoga and Babaji, so more meditation. Makes sense. 4 of air keeps showing up here. The goddess Isis says, balance career and home life. Peace offering, white buffalo calf woman. Well, for the purposes of the reading, this card comes through. I don't know if you can see that she's holding a rod, but for me, it represents like the olive branch, as they say. And we have to be willing. There's like the same thing like the 6 of Earth that came up before, that showed up here. And I said it represents Taurus and Libra for me, but it's about pure, unadulterated, unconditional love, like the purest of what I'm giving to you because I want to, not because I want anything back. I'm calling you because it's burning in my soul for me to call you, burning in my soul for me to text you, not because I want you to respond, although that'd be nice, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm being very super, super genuine. That's what the 6 of Earth is for me. And that's what's required when this card shows up. This is what it guides us to do, to give purely of our heart, extend that olive branch, but also to be open to receiving it. Because a lot of us, we can conquer the part about giving, and then we still have difficulty receiving and accepting love from people. So that's what we got to be able to do. On the other note, you guys know what I'm going to say. When I pull this peace offering card, people die. Okay, celebrities die. People surrounding the light worker collective die. Like friends of friends or friends of the family, people that are kind of like relatives, or maybe relatives like cousins and things like that, is who unfortunately tends to pass away surrounding the collective when I pull this card. Balance, career, and home life. And fertility, Pan. More ants in the pants. We had Cernunnos and now Pan. Fertility. Also, this is about similar to the Empress here, giving birth to anything, to our dreams, to our goals. I had a dream, again, like to go to school. I had a dream to go to school, to go to college. I wanted to study whatever it was. That dream is still in me. I'm going to give birth to it now. I'm not going to let anything stop me from expressing myself how I wish to, says Paul the Venetian. Fertility. Follow your heart. This is with regard to general stuff like going to school and love and anything else. Partnerships, all of that. Fertility. I'll go one more. Take charge of this situation, says Moses. Fertility. And he's back. Overall energy is see the other person's point of view. Very nice. Atop the page of air, it's more abundance for the masculine. Retreat into nature, says the green man. So what you need to do is reconnect with nature, but, you know, so you should spend some time outside, and that's going to help to open your flow and all that kind of stuff. But also, when you see the green man, abundance is on its way. Know this. And especially when you're crowned by the green man and rooted by Venus, by the Empress, abundance is absolutely on its way. With the 8 of Earth in the middle, come on. All right, so this is on it. It can be love, it can be money, it can be material things, it can be all of that. Combination of those. Wow, here atop the dreamer and the 5 of fire, freedom. So taking a leap of faith again, freeing yourself from your limitations, whether it's a toxic relationship, whether it's, you know, a goal that you wanted to reach and you haven't yet. Whatever it is, whatever's been holding you, but this is taking your leap forward toward whatever you want to do, following your heart in the way that you want to. In the masculine subconscious, crystals can help you with this flow of abundance, to opening up this flow that you're trying to get going. There's crystal healing. Maybe you want to work with some green stones that are healing stones for that. Feminine, atop justice. You can do it, says Archangel Michael. So justice is about doing the right thing. And Archangel Michael says you're able to do that, even if it's scary. Atop the Knight of Air. Persistence. Keep pushing. Keep going. Like the Knight of Air. Nothing can stop the Knight of Air. He's tireless. That's how you're to be this week, feminine. Atop unity, the power of joy. So I think for a lot of us, this is about commitment and changing with whom we surround ourselves, whether that's romantic or not, just with people that make us happy and things and places that make us happy. Crowning atop the magician. Makes sense. Work your magic, says Saint Germain. Who better to work magic than the magician? At the root atop the 4 of air. Listen. So while you're in that meditation, okay, the purpose of it is to listen to the guidance that you receive through it from the universe and use it. And at the heart of the matter, atop the Queen of Fire, trust, says Vishnu. Wow. I like this week. You know, sometimes you just feel like you have so much to get done and you don't and you can't or you're not going to. This week, the spread makes me feel like things are going to happen. There's going to be movement, you know, and I'm going to be a part of it. We're going to be engaged. We're going to be architects of our own like situation. To the masculine, from the Keepers of the Light Oracle, Mother Mary is back with love and peace. She says, let go of the need to be right. So some of you masculine energies out there, you are being very stubborn, or you have been very stubborn. Mary says, cut it out. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. You may additionally have a relationship with a feminine energy. Again, perhaps it is your mother or the mother of your child or some other mother figure with whom you need to heal a relationship. Crystals may help with that. And healing doesn't mean you have to, repair it necessarily. Healing can be walking away too. And if you need to cut cords, crystals come in handy there too. And maybe instead of using something that's going to help it to flourish, you need to, it's stale, it's karmic, it's a past life issue, and you need some selenite instead, for example, to cut the cord. Whatever it is, mother healing is available, whatever that means to you in your life. To the feminine, Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what you know is right for everyone involved. You can do it, says Archangel Michael. Offer a helping hand. From the angels to the masculine, the king of water. Ooh, king of water. No wonder that Pan kept showing up. This is some frisky Scorpio energy coming through here. The king of water is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work, which is love. The king of water is a Cancer, Pisces, or yes, Scorpio. Whatever he is, you may not be any of those signs. Maybe just be somebody taking on those attributes, like, for example, ants in the pants. Ooh, feminine, the wheel with Archangel Michael. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forwards. We might have been stagnant. All of a sudden, we're going. We're off like the night of air. We just take off. And fortune is on our side as we do that. And lastly, from the Ascended Masters to the masculine priorities, says King Solomon. So order your life how you feel it needs to be ordered, and then tick off things accordingly. Start at 0 with the Fool. And feminine, yes, says Ganesh. When this card shows up, it's all about Lord Ganesh having removed the obstacles from in front of you. That's how a situation suddenly moves forward. It had been blocked by like huge rocks and boulders and a tower and whatever else, and he pushed that out of the way. And now it's all clear. Yes, your dreams are about to come true. Movement this week in all areas. I hope that you guys enjoy the general reading. I will be back with love. Namaste, angels.